Hello and welcome so much. Today it is Women's View and I'm so excited that I'm here and I'm going to share this show with you, especially you. And I'm so glad that you've tuned in already. Thank you for the support and everything you've done to us. You know, I know you really, truly, with your whole heart, you do love this show. Every time the feedbacks I get, your concerns, your questions, they show the love towards the show, and I'm so glad. And that is why I always say the only thing that I can do ndio nilipe hiyo love is only bringing the best of the best guests on the show. So today we are going to talk about my story. In this case we are having someone akona story yake iko kila mahali, and she's a very young and beautiful lady. So I know that this story of her is going to do something, in your heart, either change you, encourage you, or even help you to be of a good teacher to someone else who might be needing this information. So I want you to tune in until the end. You keep up with this good conversation because I know you always love it. Kama vile tu watu nafanya. So I welcome you so much. Keep up with this good conversation. Social media handle at GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. And yes, thank you, because this is the time. Shiro Wangige is going now to invite our guests. Na ninawaambia, nataka atuambie vitu anafanya. Sitaki kuspoil. So karibu sana our guest.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here. We are, it's an honor to have you on the show. Kindly let our viewer know ni nani tuko na yeye, and ajue huyu ni nani exactly, tunaambiwa story yake iko hivi na hivi.
First of all, thank you so much for having me in today's show. I really appreciate. And my name is Ruth Yole. So I am a young adult.
Yes.
And I'm a very passionate designer and chef. I love both. Actually, those are my hobbies that I've turned into career. And somehow both balance each other.
Wow.
Yeah. So sometimes if I just want to relax, I cook. Sometimes when I just need inspiration, I design or I look at inspiration. So that's my life. And I love God. I'm born again.
Wow.
And I really draw a lot of strength and inspiration from God. And that He's the one who gives me the strength to do what I do.
Wow.
Yes.
Exciting.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I can't wait to ingie kwa hii show. So, but before that, darling, karibu sana.
Thank you, Shiro.
Yeah.
Thank you, VS. Missed you. My name is Isabel Kariuki. Welcome for the show. Stay tuned. Story moto.
Na sasa, she mentioned that she's a chef. Na anatugonga na harufu nyingine hapa. Mkiona watu nikianza ni kama nakaa hivi, ndio ni get the whole thing. So here, as you can all see, we have been blessed with a very delicious, I don't know what to call it, justaki kuharibu jina, tutaambiwa na chef, but whatever is in front of me, inaita kila kitu. Figo, kidneys, heart, mapenzi. Sijui Isabel, unaiona aje?
Harufu tu. Harufu tu inanimaliza.
Naona unameza mate.
Kabisa.
Na ati ulikuwa umekula?
Sikuwa nimekula hata kuchoma. You burning. Why you burning?
Umeniambia umekula? Anyway, mimi hata kama nilikuwa nimekula, hizo ni vitu za jana. Anything I had done. Nilikuwa nimeweka kwa stomach yangu, hizo ni vitu za jana. So now let us begin with this beautiful journey of yours.
Yes.
You are uko kwa fashion.
Yes.
And as you're saying it was a hobby, now it's a career.
Yes.
Na wewe ni chef. Tell us something about it, because we need to know ilianza. Just tell us the beginning of all this, because all of them are wonderful. See the way you look, you
Thank you so much. Yes.
So tell us. Yeah.
So this is a childhood hobby. And I remember when I was young, first with the food, I used to have my mom cook.
Wow.
And we used to cook, like when she used to make chapo, she used to give me some dough. I'd make different, characters out of the chapo, so different shapes. It was really, really exciting. And for the fashion, I used to actually make clothes for my dolls.
Wow.
Yes. I used to make, and my mom has even kept some of those till date.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
used to
that's
make
nice.
clothes, and then once in a while I used to like make, you know, different scarves and all that, which also she's kept. So it's very interesting how something that you really like and enjoy as a child can transform into a career.
Wow.
Yes. So
So that this has been your life.
yeah, really, I
That's all
don't
you
know
can
any other
say.
thing. I honestly don't know.
Isabel, what were you doing ukiwa kwa childhood yenye unaona sahihi kwa hata kama si career ama hobby?
I'm wondering, how old were you?
How old was I?
Yeah.
I think class 1.
Class
I was very young. Because actually my mom's the one who taught me how to cook and how to even sew. I remember I was very young. Class 1, class 2, class 3. Yes. And those days I think we used to have arts and crafts.
Yes.
Remember before they scrapped it off the curriculum and then now they've returned it.
Yes.
Yes. So I really enjoyed those classes. Yeah. So
I'm so glad that even the way you're saying it,
yeah.
we can see the love in your
The
face.
fashion.
Yeah, and you're young, you
Yes.
know, ninajaribu ku understand it, but
Yes.
she's very young, si ndio?
By the way, how old are you now?
I'm 28.
Oh, wow.
And you have all this career. Oh God. Ebu share with
That's
us.
right.
Because you're full of energy, one,
Yes.
and you really like what you do.
Yes.
So as you're saying, ulienda shule?
Yes, yes. So in primary, of course, arts and crafts, still maybe class 6 when they scraped it off. High school, I did home science. Yes, and I even started a club. I was that passionate.
Wow.
God.
Yes, I remember it was called Art Club or something in Form 3. And this is crazy, and I don't advocate for this.
Yeah.
But I remember I never liked. I'm not a reading person kind of person. I'm a hands-on person. So I
Wow.
must admit, when I used to go to the library, I'd go and copy all the recipes of all the recipe books. Yes, I still have that book. It was crazy. I don't know.
You mean
So
watu
all-
wanasoma huku
yes.
rules ni maresi?
I have just let it out.
Now-
So, my certificate, it's God's grace. I somehow managed to go to campus, but yes, I don't understand. Sometimes I even wonder what was wrong with me. But it was such a passionate. I even started a club in Form 3. So that's when I realized this is something I should pursue in life. Because then at that time, my parents, my uncles, my aunties were like, "Oh, so you do medicine?" And for me, I thought I would.
Be a pilot,
Be a pilot,
a doctor,
lawyer, kazi
you know, things
rahisi.
we know.
And naiko na pesa haraka.
Oh, yeah.
But somehow in Form 4, I was like, no, I'm doing food, I'm doing fashion. I used to sketch. I don't know, it's just crazy. I think that was God's way of just leading me into the
Yeah,
career
sure,
path.
which is even better.
So you support CBC fully?
I do,
Fully.
I do, but I'd advise that pia watu wa like balance.
Eh.
Balance math, science, balance. It's important. Yeah. But also if let's say if you're a parent, if you're seeing your child really likes certain aspects, maybe the artistic, support. Because for me, I'm grateful for my parents who really supported my career.
You know what I want to ask? This is a question I wanted to ask towards the end. But Isabel, I don't know what you will comment about this. But I love to do something. I love people to do things they love. Me, I love being on in front of a camera. I love being behind. I love being, there are things I love. So I will not even need an alarm to wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Even if I sleep at midnight, I do not need an alarm. I'll just wake up and have a smile in my face. I remember what is in front of me. I'm just smiling. Tukuja kwa hizi jobs zenye tuliambiwa be a pilot.
I'm telling you.
You know that person starts ana brush. Lakini ana complain. Sasa hii kazi Mungu wangu. Uliona ni kazi.
It's true.
So me, I think I encourage
Yeah.
this. CBC isipokuwa tu homework zinakuwa za wazazi. Na very expensive homework. But iko tu poa. So,
Support.
Ruth, there's this part umesema when ukimaliza shule.
Yes.
Unajua mimi nikimaliza shule Isabel. Sikuwa ninajua nataka kuwa nini. I knew I would be something. But I didn't know. Will I become a teacher? You know, you are in the stage of confusion. Ndio maana tulikuwa tunaenda hiyo career talks after nini. But I'm glad you even knew what you wanted to do.
It's interesting. Now thinking about it, I don't understand, but it's funny even up to now, I'm really a heart person. But then I don't do things unless I feel I should do them. That's why I take time to do things. So that has been guiding me since I was young. because that's the only explanation. I just knew this is what I was supposed to do somehow, and that is what guides my decisions in life and all that. So probably God placed that in me very early, maybe to give me direction. I really don't understand. Yeah.
So now you're out of school. We want to know now the starting of this journey in
Yes.
fashion
Yes.
and then in cooking.
In cooking, fashion. So when I finished high school, what did I do? Yes, I had I think first term of fourth year, you already fill in the places you want to attend, universities and all. So I filled in, I wanted to go to the University of Nairobi, and I'm glad I got admitted. So I did my degree in design at the University of Nairobi.
Wow.
So it was very hands-on. Like I'd stay in the lab till very late and make now tie and dye. We used to do tie and dye. It was an intense course, I'm telling you. Yeah, but that's it. I did fashion shows. I also joined a student community at University of Nairobi, so we used to organize events. I used to organize fashion shows, and I even started a community. Oh my gosh, starting! I started a community third year for models and designers. Yes, even have a page on social media.
Wow.
I launched it, yeah. I think I was just passionate about what I do. Actually, now talking about it is when I realized, oh my goodness, I'm very passionate.
You're fashion.
Yeah.
You know, it's you.
It's me, yeah. So I'm also very grateful to my parents because it was a risk they took. Because even some of their friends were advising them, let her not take that course. It's intense. Also, it was a very new course. Like I was, I think, the second or third recipient of, year-wise of that course. So it was very intense. But I'm so glad they believed in me and they paid, and I really don't regret taking that course.
Did you discuss it with them? Ama, it was just, this is what I want to do.
I told them this is what I want, and they just supported.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and also my parents, especially my dad, is artistic. So he also did a degree in art somehow, some place in his life.
So you were in the right hands.
Yes,
we can.
yes.
So umemaliza sasa and then you're out. Au kuenda kutafuta job. You know, that is what we do. Running with papers.
Oh
now
my
having a job
goodness.
of looking
That
for a job.
part. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm opening up too much. But anyway, it might help. So immediately I finished campus.
Yeah.
There was a job waiting for me. And in fact, I went, it was one of these colleges, and they told me, in fact, we are ready to have you, even before I graduated. Because I finished in June, graduated in September. And they told me, we'll give you till the end of the year to take this job. I refused that job. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Tuanze hapo sasa.
I refused the job.
Kwani ulikuwa na madoa aje?
See, madam, I think sometimes when something pushes you, I just knew I could not stay there. I
She's
just
so awoke. Like, how would you not accept
Hata
an
kujaribu
offer?
hata 3
not
months.
bad money, you know. It was
hata
not bad
uambiwe
money.
aje, hata uambiwe useme basi wacha niende 2 months, 1 month.
Ama 3.
Na
And
hii
it
pesa
was-
inakugoja.
Good money na ikuwa taxed. It was a private institution, so you can imagine and right now sometimes I wonder, but I think it was again God's leading.
Yes, yes.
Because right now looking back, that was like 5 years ago. If I took the job, maybe I would have just been safe, had the job, probably not experimented and did the many things, and not been, I think the many things I have done, singekuwa na hiyo liberty ya kufanya that.
Wow.
But it was a risk. Honestly, I was very naive, I can
What
say.
is not of risk in this
It's-
Africa, in this
It's a
continent, in this? Everything is a risk, don't you think?
It is.
And I think the biggest part that we do fail is we do not encourage our kids to take risks. We want them to be comfortable, which comfort does not bring development. See how far she is.
Yeah.
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 So you were just, you wanted to take risk.
Yeah, I wanted to have my own space. Like, why should I be tied to an 8 to 5?
Mamako alikuwa anajua uko na job offer.
Tulikuwa naye, tulienda pamoja naye kwa
So
interview.
umekaa tu hivi asubuhi, tusimamie tu hii scenario.
Alini drop. Yeah. She dropped me. She told me, you just go. I told her, me, I'm not taking the job. She's like, okay, fine, child. She supported me with no questions.
Can she adopt me?
I think you're welcome.
Because, anyway, why am I saying
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, it's true. Wait,
Tumepata job.
it's rare. Yeah.
So in the morning you just kwa smartphone yako lazing saa 4 ya wait a minute, I thought you had a job offer. What are you doing in your bedroom? You are, yani your mom was there
She was there. And I'm telling you, people had given me till December.
To decide.
To decide.
Yani ulikuwa hot cake.
Yeah. But I said, no, me, I want to do business. And by the end of that year, I already had a shop set up. And in fact, I remember now tying it with food. When I finished in June, before I graduated, there was Cake Festival. I remember showcasing. That was my first event I've ever exhibited in.
Wow.
So I finished shule, the next day, najitayarisha, that week, ninaingia Cake Fest. Yani mimi nilikuwa tu, you know. So because I knew by the end of the year, I wanted to have a shop, which I set up in Ongatorongai, because that's where my parents live. So I set up shop there, yeah. And I think I was just driven. I think sometimes you're just driven with this, it's in you, you can't help it, you know? You can't help it.
I missed.
There's this part where every time when someone wants to start a business, you start to looking at the risk factor. Tulifunzwa hiyo kwa business.
Yes.
I hope you can remember.
Yes.
Risk factors.
Yes.
Unaangalia. Kuna ile yenye inakuwa ya pili ama ya tatu. Utiva kuna profit. Umeelewa?
Yes.
And then wacha nisianze kwanza. Wacha nipate madomo. And then I start because nataka kukua secure. And that is why I feel her. I'm actually impressed with everything. I don't even know how to box that in one word because it's everything that we need. If everyone was like her, Kenya, tungekuwa sasa tushaanza kubuild hizi barabara za huko juu. Because I feel it's a career fully you know, imekuwa tumeinacha vizuri. Yes. Like yes, ataki you did not want to compromise your career with employment, anything. But anyway, that was good. So you have done now that cake for the first time.
Yes.
After that, do you even to date, do you still go for those events?
Yes, yes. In fact, I was at Cake Fest this year. Like even, first of all, I think my whole journey of business has taught me God's faithfulness. It's really grown my faith.
Yes.
So much. So even when the pandemic happened, I was like, you know what? I can't sleep on myself. Me, I normally tell myself, if someone has woken up and they are doing it, I can also do it. I'll be among those ones to be counted.
Wow.
So for me, I did 2020. I think was there an event? Yeah, there's some small events in our church also. We normally have Soko and all that. I did Entrepreneur Fashion Week. That was in Diamond Plaza, Westlands. This year I did Cake Festival. I even contributed one of my recipe in the magazine.
Wow.
So I just keep going because also if you don't, we are so many in this industry. If you just sleep, someone will just, and I'm not competing with other people. Definitely I'm competing with myself because our aesthetics are very different.
Yes.
But I just like being on top of things. Like what's the next event? What's happening? And I need to be visible. I realize that as much as God has given me a gift and people appreciate and my clients come back, it humbles me. I would never ever sit down one day and say, sasa nimeshajulikana ya kutosha. I'm always hungry. I always want to know the next event, the next place. And I just always stay, like there's this famous quote that says, stay hungry, stay foolish.
Yeah.
You know, I'll always stay hungry, stay foolish, get to know what's happening.
Yes.
Yeah, and also that keeps things fresh, so that I'm not bored. Yeah, because when I sit down, I get bored. I need to keep moving.
You mean?
I cannot sit still.
No.
No. In fact, I feel agitated. Like I need to just keep moving. Yeah.
So now you've started your shop. Kwa shop yako ni nini umefanya sasa?
Kwa hiyo shop ya hiyo mwaka, I did a lot of things. I did food. Okay, there was a display for cake, for fashion. I also had a photography studio set up.
In the same shop?
Yes, but different corners.
Okay.
Because like, hey, I know it's tough out here, I have to hustle.
Yeah.
You know, I cannot just sit down. So I had even photography clients. I also had nguo, nikashona nguo. I also had makeup.
In the same shop? The same shop.
First of all,
And they're the same person doing all these things?
yeah, like, but even...
Na watu wanaingilia Wakikuyu sana.
Hata niliambiwa mimi niko na Kikuyu ile kabisa kwa sababu it's not normal. Yeah, I did, and even those courses, like I did a short course in makeup while I was still in campus. You know, those holidays, my mom, I think, was very afraid of kuka idol. She was like, no, look for something to do in those 3 months. So I was like, let me go do makeup. I did makeup. Let me go now. That's when the baking also and the other let me do that. Yeah, so I did makeup, I did photography, nini, all those things. But then now I stayed in that shop actually that year, the following year. Then towards the end of the year, I was just like, no, I needed more. I needed more. I wasn't feeling that space.
Ukiwa na hizo vitu zote?
It wasn't coming as quickly as I wanted. So I wanted to move to a better place. So I actually moved out to another shop. Still in Rongai, but now Tuskys area. If you've been to Rongai, Clean Shelf, at least there was traffic. Then I also stayed there. Gosh, then I was like, no, I'm not yet content. This is not the market I wanted. So now that's when I want to move to Langata. And then now COVID happened. I was like, you know, I don't want to take risk right now and start a shop. Yeah.
Oh, so now that is when au kufungua hiyo
Yeah,
ndo
sikufungua.
ukafunga hiyo shop moja hiyo. Guys, allow me to take this show for a very short break because this lady you can see najua mnataka tuagawie energy yake. Kila mtu atafute yake. We will ask her how she gets all that energy. So allow us to get to take a very short break and then we come back. Thank you.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back, my viewer, and thank you so much for tuning in and the very many questions you have. And you know, I know you guys, nimeona from your comments that this person, this young lady is inspiring you so very much, just like the way we were impressed, you know. And yes, today we are talking about my story, and in this case we are talking about the journey of a person to realize that her own hobbies could become a career, and for sure it has succeeded. Now let us catch up with her and see ndio tufike ati hadi tuko na plate hapa. How far? Ni nini amepitia? Ebu atuambie your journey. So thank you so much. If you're tuning in right now, keep up with this good conversation. Our social media handle at GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. So I'm here with Ruth and Isabel, and we are just loving everything. So welcome so much.
Thank you.
For this now break where after this break where we are now going to talk about now your journey after COVID happened.
Yes.
Because you said after COVID happened, you now stopped, you know, uka shut down ile shop. So uliendeleaje? Why are we here
Why
then?
are we
Kama uliacha hiyo, kama ulienda kuajiriwa?
No, I'm still grinding. So actually, very interestingly, I closed the shop in 2019. So 2020, oh yeah, so I moved to Tuskys, and then I was like, I'm not feeling, I need more clients. Now clients were there, but purchasing power. I needed now to really make money, like make profits that can sustain me, feed me, allow me to do other things here and there. So I closed that shop. So I went back home, and I was really unsettled, but I was like, I knew that was the right decision for me to make.
You closed and went back home?
Yes, went back home, just working from home. I was still having my clients, but working from home.
Okay.
Because I was feeling that shop wasn't serving me, and there's no point of staying in a place which is not serving you.
Yes.
And for that 1 year, was it paying? Was it paying the shop?
The shop was paying, yeah.
It could sustain you as with the rent.
It could.
Yeah.
Once in a, okay, it could. My parents would chip in kidogo, but it could sustain me. Like I was making profits and all that.
Okay.
Yes. So once I closed that shop, now I just restrategized. I was like, okay, I came to Rongai because that was home, but where do I want my business to go? I cannot stay here. And not that Rongai is not a good place, but I have to think of sustainability, because for me the target market was like, it's a growing town and people will not pay. These are a ceiling. And also because I was young. Honestly, sometimes people will be like, you're too young, I cannot give you all that money. You know, there are businesses which are really make money, but those are older people, and there's that, you're old, I can trust you. So that's when I actually thought of moving to Langata. That was a risk, because I knew Langata is expensive.
It is.
And
So
I don't know anyone.
You're moving alone.
Yes, I risk.
This time hakuna mtu hata you don't have a friend, you know, now we are doing it. It's just you and your parents.
Yes,
let's say
me and my
that.
parents, yeah. Because somehow, okay, I love people, but I am more of a, my decisions are best if I make them alone.
Okay.
Yes, yes. So, and faster that way. So I actually planned now, strategize, okay, I'm going to move out. I'm going now to work from my house. And that was the plan. So towards the end of, so 20, I stayed 1 year. So 20, no, sorry, I moved out 2019 now towards the end. That's when now I actually downloaded calendars and in every, for October, for September, October, November, December. And every day I'd give myself work to do. I had to fill in all those slots so that I have money to buy an oven, to buy, you know, kettle, everything. Because, see, I'm moving out,
Yes, yes.
so I need money.
Yes.
And let me tell you, God is so faithful because between September and December, 4 months, I was able to buy everything.
Wow.
I was able to buy an oven, at least for starting out.
Yes.
So I told my parents, now I want to move out in actually end of 2019. So I moved out in 2020 January. March COVID hit.
That was a risk.
And I told God, you know what? We have started this thing, you have to sustain me. But that's when my faith grew. Yani, I have never depended on God the way I depended on God. Hey,
Ulinitoa nyumbani ukanileta.
I told God, we're not going back. This life is too good.
You're Alpha
And
and Omega.
Amen. Yes.
You know, I like
You have
the
to
way
finish this.
I like the way she's saying it. I told God, you know,
Yeah, we talked to
dear
God.
huyu Mungu. You know, we are not going back.
Yes.
We are.
Yeah.
You just need to know.
And I was telling God, remember the story of the Israelites? It was hard in the desert,
Yeah.
but they're not going back to Egypt. Well, for me, I used to joke with, you know,
You are
my brother and sometimes even with myself in the house. It's like, yeah, we're at Rudik Misri. Shatoka huko kuzini.
Tunaelekea Canaan.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, that was faith.
Kujiongelesha mzuri sana.
Yeah, and let me tell you, me,
Stay positive and
Yes.
focused.
because also I've learned imagine in this world, you have to be positive, and also not everyone roots for me. In fact, the more I continue, I definitely have great people who support me.
Yes.
But also have people who don't like me.
They, of
And
course.
they make it. I think the more even
It
the
does.
more it's so open. Even sometimes I have to just delete people's numbers, block people, so that I just have that be in that mental
Yes, yes.
So you can imagine now that people try to drag you. Why are you dragging yourself? So I tell myself I'll always be my number one
Yes,
fan.
yes.
And I'm telling you now. Besides, so now I've moved out. I'm in Langata. I got into groups very quickly, networking groups, like I'm in so many WhatsApp groups, and I'm telling you, every day I used to advertise. Every day I do cakes, I do fashion. I do cakes, I do fashion. I'm telling you,
Are you joking?
I don't get. You know, you decide.
Wacha tuongee hiyo story sasa. Isabel.
Yeah.
I believe this time hauendi job.
Yes.
Hauna shop.
Yes.
Umemove to Langata.
Yes.
Before COVID hii tulikuwa na 2 months.
Yes.
Bado hiyo ni moment ya kuhama.
Yes.
So umepata unaingia groups.
Naingia groups.
So you are wewe ndio manager?
Yes, everything.
How do you manage? Because
And
very
the
many-
marketer.
And the market and the finance.
And the finance.
And the creative director, because I have to direct this thing.
In short, you are the company.
I am the company.
So why am I asking this? Because we have very young people outside
Yes.
there, or even people who are on social media,
Yes.
but they have now they have the problem of advertising themselves. They say, if I have to advertise and be known, I need a manager, or rather sijui au watu, the team members, whatever. And then they feel mimi nisipofanya wao wasipofanya mimi siwezi, so they get so desperate.
Yes.
Because these people I can't trust you, you know, fully. Nataka ukuwa unani advertisia. So if you do not do that tomorrow, I'll start getting desperate. And these people, when you want to advertise, they also need a token, which becomes very expensive. So actually there's a lady who was asking me, Ebu, tell me, how do you manage to advertise for yourself, whatever you do, and also post your videos, and so that I can even, in that I can go to a certain group and then I see your video. Do you have people do it for you? Because yeye anafanya hivyo. And it's very expensive. Yeah, because you have to pay those people.
Yes, you have to pay them.
It's very expensive. But now there is consistency in you.
Yes.
That you have very many groups. Like how many? Tell us.
I like maybe 10, and I try post every day, and still I have to post on my Instagram and Facebook, which are different pages. So like I have like 4 pages for Instagram, 4 for Facebook. Yeah, but you know, let me tell you, initially it was hard. I will not lie. But you also realize your body gets used to it. I think the more you do something, the more it just gets into your system. Yeah. And it naturally takes for me, okay, it takes time, 1.5 hours
Yes,
to
it
do
does.
everything. And I've dedicated that 1.5 hours.
What time do you wake up and start to post?
First of all, I'm not an early bird. I have tried waking up at 5, I can't. Like, it's just not in my system.
Me, you, same was happening.
I can't. So 6, even 7 sometimes. But I'm a day person. Me, once I hit the floor, I'm
Kuna
running.
kulala.
By the way,
Hakuna njia.
I have energy from the beginning. I just step out. By the time 1 hour, you know, that time for just, you know, relax. But I'm just gone. So because I've also getting to know how your body works is best. Because of course I listen to many podcasts and people tell you, oh, you need to work. Me, I tried, but it never worked for me.
I work.
So I'm like, me, I'll do what works for me. If it's okay, if
Yeah.
you are a 5 to maybe 8 person, fine. But look at yourself, like when are you, what's your optimum? When are you most productive? So for me, it's during the day. So 7, I wake up and, you know, I also do devotion because me, my relationship with God really is what has grounded me. There's no way I can do anything without God. So I do my devotion and all that. And sasa I get into WhatsApp, check people have texted me, call them, check my emails sometimes, and then I'll post. So I like posting between 11 and 1 because that's the best time for me. Then now do my orders. Sometimes I bake at night. Let's say if I'm baking tomorrow, you know, I like baking my cakes fresh.
Yes.
Yeah, so I just make sure I have, I also have a notebook. I always carry my notebook everywhere. I will always have so I have my to-do list. And it's very detailed, it's a bit too detailed. Like I read today, wake up, pray, do devotion. It's very
this
detailed.
woman, I'm loving her.
But I have to do that. Yes, post on the hair, talk to, call, because
Before you sleep.
at least when I wake up. At
Oh,
least
in the
when I wake up.
Oh, in the
Yeah.
morning, that's when
Oh,
you
yeah.
write.
So when
Yeah.
you wake up, you plan
You
yourself
plan myself, yeah.
and then write down.
Right, yeah, my everything to the letter because I don't carry everything in my head. It would confuse me. So my notebook is really what carries. But even passwords, me, I don't keep those things in my head. I only have my PIN. Everything, I just write it down. I just say, let my brain rest. It's too much information for me.
Girl, you love yourself. and
Yeah,
you're
because
doing
I had
things.
to, because there's a time I'd work myself sick. Like, especially when my business started, I'd sleep for 3 hours. I'd work so hard and I told me, I actually got sick. So it was like, no, I have to balance because I'm doing this for the long term. I really need to take care of myself. I need to know what can I do and also own it. All of us are unique. There are things which you can do, which you can't do.
Yes.
So I think owning that and accepting it and then now realizing, okay, instead of storing everything in my head and forgetting and also making clients angry and sometimes you don't have a second chance.
Sure.
It's that cutthroat. So I just write everything. And I have my Google Calendar, it gives me alerts. Yeah, so just those small things just kept me organized.
So, Ruth, how do you get your new clients?
New clients.
Yes, apart from you could post
on-
Is there anything else you do?
You do. Referrals.
Okay.
But they, for me, referrals a lot. I've done also social media sponsored ads. They've worked, but for me, what has sustained my business is referrals. Because for me, I believe that one client that you keep is worth more than 10 that, like
Sure.
one is close to 10.
Sure.
So if I keep my clients, treat them well, make them feel good, they'll definitely come back. And they always, most of the time, they refer clients.
So whatever you do, you have
Yes.
to do it perfectly.
I have to, and I pray. But then I pray. I talk to God like we are friends. Tell God, now I'm baking, please help me. I just try, and I'm not trying to be super spiritual, but that is how it's helped me. Because I know, because I do many things, sometimes you can just lose your head. You're baking, then someone calls you, you forget you're baking. So I think that just keeps me focused, but I'm intentional about doing a good job. And what else? I also do walk-ins. I do events. Yeah, so I've attended Cake Fest a number of times. I've attended Entrepreneur Fashion Week, exhibitions in Rongai I did. Yeah, so just as many events as I can. Also go to networking events. Yeah, because I need to know what people are doing in the industry. Yeah, and then walk-in. Sometimes I'd say, especially when I was new to Langata, I walked through almost every mall I knew with my posters and flyers. That's actually one thing, because I'm not necessarily, okay, I love people, but I can also be quite introverted. So that's a fear I had to conquer. So it's like,
you
okay,
face it.
yeah, I had to face that fear of talking to people I don't know. And it worked. Actually, most of my clients, wengine I got them through that.
Wow.
Walking, Yeah.
This is what I do. Hivyo.
Mm.
So now there's from whatever you're telling us, I
Yes.
believe now this 2020 you're working from home.
Yes.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
There are very many people here about working from home, and then they think it's all about computer,
Yes.
or those people who just want to be idling around, or
Yeah.
rather that person who has a perfect job.
Yes.
So and we consider employment or making it in life
Yes.
as a person who wakes up in the morning, you know, a white collar job.
Yes.
Hizo vitu.
Yes.
How is working from home doing, or rather what can you say about
What
it?
can I say?
Mhm.
First of all, environment.
Mhm.
Yeah, where I stay, it's very quiet. It was actually very intentional. I wanted a very quiet, exclusive place so that I can be able to concentrate. And it's also in the mindset, because if you tell yourself, I'm waking up and I'm going to work, you know you are working. And it's just, I think it's more of telling yourself, and also because I live alone, I don't have distractions, I don't have, you know, a roommate or, you know, children on. So for me, it's not a distraction for me, but also the environment was very important.
Wow.
And that scheduling, you know, writing a to-do list. Yeah, because I'm like, I'm not going to wake up and waste my time. And also reminding myself, I'm the one who's paying this rent. I'm the one who's going to buy my food. So it's like, I have to sort this. If this doesn't
Yes.
happen, I'll be told,
Rudi nyumbani.
and I'm not
And that
going
is
back to
not-
Egypt.
Yes, you're not going back to Egypt. So is it paying?
Yeah,
Yes
it
or
is
no?
paying. Though I must admit, this year has been quite tough. I will not lie to you. It's, I think the elections and
Yes,
people
yes,
being
of
afraid
course.
to spend, it's been tough. But generally, it's really paying. It's paying, yeah.
So allow me to take this show for a break again to Rudi, and then now we have to know it delicacy kwa hapa ni nini.
Yes.
Yeah, so thank you, my viewer. Allow me, guys, to take a very short break because we really need that break. We need to give this girl some break ndio apate energy ya kutumalizia. Tukirudi, we have something here. She has made a very delicious meal. Boy, mi sijui nitasema aje. Unaisikia aje?
Nimehisi njaa.
Okay, sawa. Na ninajua pia viewer anashindwa. Tutafika hii sector lini? Hii segment kwani umeisahau? So we are taking a short break and then we come back. Thank you.
Everywhere. GBS.
Thank you so much and welcome back. Guys, it is that time, that moment of truth. Truth about what is in front of us. Thank you so much for tuning in mpaka sahi. We've been having this good conversation with Ruth about her journey, let's say that, because it's a very beautiful journey and story behind it. Because she's in fashion and she's still in cooking and she's doing well. Actually, amesema kitu ya working from home. She's not employed. She has never been employed. Na ni graduate by the msicheze. So when we tell our young people that we do not have to go from one office to the other looking for jobs, we mean it. And that now we have an example here. She's doing well. And yeah, we can even see from her face. Isabel, si una...
Yeah.
Unajua wanaweza ona nikaa mimi niko karibu sana na yeye. Yeah.
It's impressive
Yes.
that you've never worked. Yani ujai ajiriwa.
Yes.
It's so encouraging.
Yes. Yeah.
So in cooking, there's this particular recipe umetupea hapa.
Yes.
Tujui ni nini, mimi hata siwezi eleza. Hii ni kitu ninajua.
Very familiar. Nothing here is new. So this is chicken. This is actually from one of my recipes on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel called This is Ruthiole. So I share recipes and fashion and a bit of inspiration. So this is chicken, and I used ingredients that you can find. So how I went through it is I started with, you can use boneless chicken or you can use chicken on bone like what we have here. So I seasoned this with black pepper and with salt. Just seasoned it and then left it for like 10 minutes so that the black pepper and the salt gets in.
Yes.
And after that, I dredged each piece on flour. So now I put on flour, turn it until each piece is covered with flour completely. Then I added oil in a pan, then browned both sides. Yes, that's why you can see it's brownish. Yeah, and when you brown chicken, it gives it a very nice flavor. Then after that, I cooked it completely, added water, cooked the chicken and had ikaiva. Then I removed,
Nilikuwa nataka kugoje hiyo part ya kuiva.
Yeah, of course. Well, nataka watu wagonjeke.
Na saa zile una season.
Yes.
Uja boil?
No, sija boil raw chicken. Yeah.
Okay,
Because it's raw, it gets in all that. The spices vizuri. Yes. So after that, I removed. Then I cleaned the pan. Then I added oil. Then I added, now what makes it smell like that is tomato sauce and garlic and honey. So I added a little tomato sauce, a little garlic, grated garlic, and a little honey in the pan. And then I cooked them. I boiled them for like 2 minutes. So they boil together. That's why now they infuse, you know, the zinaingiana pamoja. And also you don't want to eat raw garlic. You know, garlic can also be very raw. Yeah. So after that, I added now my cooked chicken, mixed together and removed. And then I garnished, because it needs to look pretty before you eat, garnished with dania.
Oh.
Yeah.
So kuna hii part, mi hapa sioni supu.
Hakuna supu.
Hakuna gadhufu?
No.
So ukisema
hadi kakauka.
Uliboil.
Yeah.
You don't want to talk about boiling with a Kikuyu person. You
no,
tell me to boil your chicken, you're not eating it.
Cook it. I just add a little water and cook it until it dries. Yes.
Until it dries.
Yes. Yeah.
Of course. Wow. Ati umesema hii inafanya ismell hivyo ni?
Ni honey,
Is
tomato
there
sauce, garlic.
a specific honey?
No,
brand?
any honey will do. Even golden syrup. You know, if you have golden syrup in the supermarket and you can't,
Yes.
also you can just use either golden syrup.
Lakini
or
unaweka kadogo. Unajua ukisema honey na
so for this, this is about half a chicken. So that one I used 2.5 tablespoons of honey.
Kazi yake ni? Kazi ya honey cause
We make sweet.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
And also it gives it also a brown. It just gives a glaze. It kind of shine. Yes.
Okay.
can we taste?
Please go ahead. We can dive in.
Moment of
You're my
truth.
judges.
Si uanze. I know unapenda sana nikianza. Anza kwanza ndio.
Yeah, anza.
Watu wanaweza sema nimeongezea.
Tell us.
Nakwambia hata vile inakaa.
Hivi
ndio unakulaga. Is this how you eat?
Sometimes. Because it's still work. It's work to, yeah, most of the time. Yeah, most of the time.
Tusikie. Hey, Jesus.
Yummy.
It's yummy.
Let me
Taste it.
try mine.
Tell me.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
And I like it that it's sticky, and you see the honey gives it its sticky.
And it's sweet.
And not too sweet.
Hebu nianze tena.
Hata sitaki kuongea, nataka tu ni kusikiza.
Wow.
Thank you.
Cameraman.
Thank you.
How I wish you knew. Wow. You know, when you talked about 2.5 tablespoons, I thought it was too much at first, and then it would make it taste like chai, too sweet. But I can nimesikia hii taste. Sio too sweet, but
Yes. Yeah.
Iko tu.
iko pale pale mahali.
Not too
Mahali
much.
yake.
Acha nisiseme.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm glad you like it.
And how
Yes.
long can this take?
Okay, roughly an hour.
An hour?
Yes, roughly an hour, depending on also how quick. This is broiler chicken. Kienyeji will definitely, I'd advise broiler because Kienyeji has its own taste, so somehow it will not really taste that good. Just use broiler. Broiler is good. It
I think
absorbs
also
all
for the
taste.
people who love hiyo za kienyeji za kukimbia, you also, there's a day you come and give us a recipe for
Yes,
that because we
yes.
also want to eat our kienyeji
Yes.
taste
It tastes vizuri, yes.
So anyway, from this I can I feel I now know why you have very many referrals. What do you
Yeah,
think?
yeah.
Like, wouldn't you refer her to
Of course,
someone?
of
Thank
course,
you.
of course.
Your costs are your prices are they affordable? Do you do only for our wakubwa?
In fact, I did my research. Initially, that was my target market because like, I've finished campus, I have paid school fees for this, so it has to be. But then I was like, no, I have my specific target market, and for me, it's actually middle class. Yes, because that's where the money is. I was like, why should I also compete also with older people? Because older people are the ones now who have like all that money. I'm young, and also if I quote something ridiculous, they'd be like, no, why am I giving you all that money? So I've focused on middle class. So actually, my prices are very affordable.
Wow.
Yes, they're very affordable. Like, let's say it depends on, maybe a plate could be even 250.
Wow.
Yes, I'm not expensive.
That's
I am not expensive.
A plate, we talk of how many pieces?
We're talking of like, let's say like a piece of, like, let's say 2 pieces of chicken, maybe potatoes, and maybe a salad or kachumbari.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, it's
reasonable.
satisfying.
Yeah, it's reasonable.
Now, you said you do weddings.
Yes, I do weddings.
Yeah, parties.
Yes, parties. I also bake, and my cakes also are fair from 1,400 to 2,000 per kg. Yes, so a variety of cake flavors. Yes, and also wedding, custom made. Now, those ones depend on what the budget of the client is. Yeah, but we hatuwezi kosana. Yeah, because tunajengana. And also because I'm learning, there's that room, and especially I'd encourage young people to take that opportunity. And your people are your clients, or people who are slightly older than you. Those are your clients, and they'll believe in you.
Yes.
Also, you don't want to make it also hard for yourself to make money. Like, just make it easy for you. Hard work and work hard, and also just make it easy for you to grow.
Do you have your me time? The time.
Time for me. Actually, that's something I've been struggling with. To be honest, I sometimes work until my body's like, now stop. That is when I have me time. But maybe when I do okay, that's God time. I don't know. That's actually a question I need to.
Yeah. So
of late, I've been going to the library. Yeah, I think maybe that could be me time.
To get
Just
recipes.
read.
Because the last time you mentioned library, ilikuwa kitu ingine tofauti, and that is what has led to you being this person.
I've actually been a frequent. Okay, I'm trying to frequent this national library, the new one at Upper Hill. So I find it very. It brings some order in my life, because I feel like also creative work can be chaotic. In the kitchen, you don't know how it can be chaotic. So I think the 2 hours I just go to the library once a week really brings some peace in my life. I just go read a book, on something that is beneficial to me, because I like knowledge. I think for me, knowledge that can help me, that is relaxing for me.
Wow.
So I think I have some me time. But also I try on Mondays, if I don't have work, to just rest.
So you've not talked about what you having on your
yes,
top. It's
yes.
really nice.
Thank you.
Yes, and we need to ulienda super ukanunua ulitoa wapi?
I actually made, this is my most recent collection that I launched in September, late September, October. You can find it online, www.refreshmagazinekenya.com. Sorry, let me repeat that, www.refreshmagazinekenya.com/Ruthiole. So this is my collection for women. For now, we are doing women, but I also do menswear, custom made.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is tie and dye is something I love. And actually this is, I did a tie and dye collection last year for the Entrepreneur Fashion Week. Yes, so and even got clients. They're like, in fact, one of the models, on that fitting day, they were like, don't sell this trouser, I am going to buy it.
Wow.
And they bought it after the show.
Wow.
So like, then after that, someone else liked, I also made them something like this. So I launched this. So we have wrap, this is a wrap blouse. Yeah, so this is 2,300. We have palazzo pants, and we also have dresses, shift dress with pockets. I wanted an easy collection for starters, and also to test it in the market, because also realize it's a new concept. Yes, so yeah, so you can have it custom made on the website. You can specify your size, your details, and all that. Then I'll get it and then custom make it for you.
Wow.
Yes.
So as a young person, there's a lot, very much that you're doing. Give us maybe one challenge that you've had, the
Yes.
biggest of all,
Yes.
and then a good, inspire someone who's
Someone,
outside there who would want to work from home, because
Yes.
very many people want to nowadays work when they're relaxed, when the environment is so familiar, not
Yes.
just waking up and walking in an office where
Yeah.
there's everyone.
Yeah.
So we also need to minimize the, how we have a big population at
Yes.
work. So some could be working from
Yes,
home. Apart
yes.
from working for a company or maybe government, or that person who, na mimi nakuwa na hii idea naweza taka kufanya. But they have that fear. So
Yes.
kindly.
First of all, I talk about the challenge. For me, I think is, first of all, you need to know yourself. This business has taught me to accept myself fully. Because when you're young, you want to be like other people. You want
Yes.
to spend a lot. Because for me, I've had to sacrifice. I only spend, I can spend, but only for things that are helpful for me, because I know it's a season. So peer pressure, just love yourself, know you're created for a purpose, and love that person. And every day when I go home, I tell myself I sleep at night alone and with God. So anyone else's opinion that will affect me negatively doesn't really matter. So own yourself and love yourself and just enjoy life.
Yes.
For the advice I'd tell, it's like work hard. There's no such thing as instant success. With Instagram, we've seen all these people just making it online, I mean, overnight. But also before Instagram, they were also having their own careers that are
Sure,
offline.
yes.
That is what pulled them, and made them
Towards-
famous.
yes.
So work extremely hard. Like that is no, question about it. Be passionate. Sometimes you will do things that won't be conventional, but follow your heart because you'll be happy.
Is there anyone behind you who inspires you?
Inspires, I think my mom. I'm really inspired by her. She's a career woman, and she's very passionate. She works really hard, and she's very she respects. She fears God. I think I get my fear of God from her. Yeah, so she inspires me. Besides that, I also have people like locally, international, locally, just chefs and designers who also work hard. I look up to people a lot. Yeah, because I everything I do, I'm like, if there's just someone who's done it before, whether it's in Kenya or abroad,
Yes.
and that really inspires. Yeah, so I look up to people a lot in my industry. Yes.
Wow. When you're talking about knowing that you yourself,
Yes.
and there's nothing else, I think that is what most people just don't have.
Yes.
Because we are always waiting to hear the opinion of someone else, to be sure that I'm good, I'm perfect the way I am. Just listening from Isabel telling me, you look perfect. I so much rely on someone else's opinion,
It's
and I
true.
think that is what has
Yeah.
made very many people fail.
And I've been there. Oh, I've been there. But I've done everything. Like, I've also wanted people to manage for a while. I had someone shooting, my videos. Like, I had someone telling me what to do. I had someone telling me, do this, do that. I wanted to be accepted so bad. I even compromised some of my values. Yeah. Because I wanted to be accepted. Because at that point, it's like, no, yes, I'm doing business, but I still want to be normal. But it never made me happy. And so I woke up one day and I was like, no, I want to do what makes me happy, and also what God makes me happy. Because what makes God happy? Because I'll give him an account of my life. Every day when I wake up, I'm like, I know I will be answerable to the many gifts God has given me.
Yes.
And that is what inspires me every day. So I've been through it. I know what it feels sometimes to be alone and to be rejected and people not to be happy, people, and how sometimes people can think you're acing it, and behind the scenes you're really struggling. Like, you're like, you people just leave me alone. You've just knew, but you have also to be strong. And I think those tough times really build you and build your muscle, and they give you confidence. Yes.
Do you have friends that mwenye tuseme you just today we are hanging out
Yeah.
and then you just watch
I
at
have
your
friends,
channel?
but yeah, I'm building on that also.
I love that.
But I have friends. At least I have people I talk to. But to be honest,
Or your friends ni watu wako in the business.
Yeah, people in the
already.
business, so-
they're also busy.
yeah,
so
we
you
are
enjoy the moments
thank
you
you,
meet.
thank you. Because it would look like, oh, I just love making money. No, people are busy.
Yeah, of
People are very
course,
busy. Yeah, but when I meet up with my friends, it's always a good time.
So you said your YouTube channel inaitwaje?
This is Ruthiole, and then I'm on TikTok. Very interestingly, just recently, this is Ruthiole. And then my food business is Ruthiole's Kitchen, so both on Instagram and Facebook, Fashion Ruthiole.
Wow.
Yeah, and also can I sneak in that I write on my, yes, what to answer the question about free time, I write short articles. Yeah, so I have an online magazine called refreshmagazinekenya.com. So it's just something I started over the pandemic to just deal with stuff and just share. And people have really liked it. I've interviewed some people as well. Yeah, so refreshmagazinekenya.com. That's my online platform, and also it's on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, Refresh Magazine KE.
Thank you so much, Isabel. We are supposed to now to complete or rather conclude this good conversation. What do you tell the viewer now?
As we had her story, and before I conclude, have you ever reached a place, I mean a time,
Yes.
and you encountered a challenge, and I was like, I feel like giving up?
One thing about me, because I realized the nature of my work, and I knew it would be hard. I don't sit in low moments for long. I don't allow that, because I learned if you allow yourself to be depressed, you'll